Zach. Zach. Can you hear me, Zach? There you are, Zach. Sleeping again? Well, rise and shine. It's time for us to head back out into the chaos. Isn't that right, Zach? Zach, it looks like she wants us to join her for breakfast. Perhaps this town's finally starting to warm up to us. Look at that, Zach. She's welcoming us with open arms. She's even willing to share that tasty morsel with us. What an honor.
Hurry up and chow down, mister. Unless you like your breakfast stale.
What an amazing place. I've been on top of the moon since the moment I got here. And the name of this wonderful town, Le Carré, sounds like French to me. But what does it mean?
I'm the chef, David. If you want to know about the town, you'd better ask the concierge. Only amateur chefs flap their gums about stuff that ain't food related.
Did you hear that, Zach? He's a true professional.
You say something, mister?
No, not to you. I was just talking to Zach.
Zach?
Please don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter.
If you say so, still. Never thought the FBI would ever come out to a little old town like ours.
I do work for the FBI, but I didn't come here for an investigation. I just happened to stop by on my way to New Orleans.
Never thought there'd be a murder out here either. And it was a 16-year-old kid. Now I tell you, this country's seen better days. What you reckon, mister?
Zach, he's definitely a professional, but it seems like he's also a bit lonesome. That's good. Ambivalence exists everywhere.
Folks say the killer used an axe. Hell of an old-fashioned choice if you ask me.
Actually, Chef David, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the incident.
Well, shoot. I ain't the one you ought to be asking, Mr. FBI. I only heard what I heard. But seeing as you're fixing to grill me, I can tell you what I know.
Please do. I appreciate it. You said the victim was a 16-year-old. Did you know her?
Well, sure. I reckon the whole town did.
Meaning?
She's Lise Clarkson, the little grandbaby of the Clarkson family.
The Clarkson family?
That's right. You ain't seen they sign on your way in here? The one above that huge cold storage complex. Should have had a dragonfly on it. Anyway, that's the Clarkson family seal. They own most of the land round here, from the sugar plantations right down to the food processing plant. Yeah, I reckon they got a stake in just about everything. They even own the water tower on the edge of town, you know. They're the ones who built up this town, and they still support it.
What do you know about the Clarksons' house?
Now, I ain't got nothing bad to say, but I'm gonna talk straight to you. You best steer clear of that place. That family ain't just some gang. They're a whole different kind of beast. They folks with real power. Remnants of the good old boys who shaped America in the early days. Especially the head of the family, P.J. Clarkson. He's the kind of monster who goes around eating other monsters. And I'm sure he's on edge now with his granddaughter getting murdered and all. So don't go barging in with that shiny FBI badge of yours and think you'll be safe for nothing. Things are different down here. So if you plan on sticking around, you best remember that.
I see. I'll keep that in mind. Is the local law enforcement investigating the case?
Shoot, mister, what you think? Now, I told you this ain't no city. We in the bonafide boondocks here. They got to know how to break up fights and keep folks from killing each other when they pissed you off. They sit down and talk it out with you heart to heart, and when that don't work, they just beat your ass. That's the Deep South for you. This murder ain't like that, though. A little kid got killed. A weird way. Like something on a TV show. The sheriff's department ain't never seen nothing like this.
Live and Let Die, Angel Heart, and The Pelican Brief, right? 9 out of 10 people will name those titles when you ask them to think of a film set in New Orleans. They're all excellent movies, but to me they lack realism. Due to my line of work, I have a tendency to think deeply about what feels real and what doesn't.
What's your point?
Cat People. That's my point. Cat People. 1982, directed by Paul Schrader. The crowning achievement of Nastasia Kinski, the ultimate muse of the 80s. The most vital element of that movie is the reality it depicts. Leopards who turn into humans have intercourse with humans and turn back into leopards. Then they can only turn back into humans again if they mutilate their lovers. I was awestruck by the sheer reality of it all. Understand? I'm talking about hyper-realism. After watching it, I felt like I just had to experience the world of cat people for myself. That's why I decided to visit New Orleans.
Okay.
Another vital element of Cat People is the presence of Malcolm McDowell. Malcolm McDowell from Blue Thunder. Oh, talk about a masterpiece. Listen carefully, David. Only an amateur would call A Clockwork Orange his best movie. His best movies are Cat People and Blue Thunder. Period. You need to remember this, because it's the truth.
Whatever you say, mister. So, what's your point again?
Never mind, don't worry about it. I already covered all the important parts. When you say it was like something from a TV show, what exactly do you mean?
Hey, mister. Why do you look so excited, huh? Like a kid asking grandma to read him a fairy tale.
I just can't seem to keep myself away from young women who died in bizarre ways.
Well, I ain't seen it with my own eyes, but folks say they found the body hanging under a bridge on the bayou. And under that bridge, there was some kind of altar.
An altar?
Like something they use in black magic. Something horrible.
Voodoo?
Nah, wasn't nothing like that. Just a weird altar.
That's all?
Oh, and the body was all cut up in pieces. Scattered around the altar like.
So she was sacrificed?
That's what the fella who discovered her said, yeah.
Bingo, Zach. This case has got our names all over it.
By the way, Mr. FBI, I ain't seen a car in the parking lot. How'd you get all the way out here, huh? Don't tell me you walked.
Well, that's a very good question. Chef David, You've got a sharp eye. It's true that I didn't park my car in your parking lot. Do you know why?
Can't say I do.
Because it was stolen.
Huh? But you with the FBI, right?
Even FBI cars can be stolen. It could happen after you park your car on the side of the road and go off to do some legwork. When you're eating lunch, when you're watching a movie, when you're asleep at night, when you're buying cigarettes at the local supermarket. Your car can be stolen anywhere. That's precisely what it means to be an FBI agent. In my case, my car was stolen while I was on my way down here. But no need to worry. I already reported it to the local authorities. And I've also already acquired another mode of transportation.
Another mode?
Want to hear the details?
Not really, but I'll listen if you want me to.
Then please do. After I finished my work in Houston, I flew to New Orleans. Then, I rented a car at the airport. Whenever I visit the West Coast, I always rent a convertible, especially in California. But now I'm in hot and sticky Louisiana. So, I decided on a brand new hybrid car with a fully equipped air conditioning system.
A hybrid car?
Oh yes, they're marvelous. Vehicles that utterly defy everything you think you know about cars. Now, in the year 2005, it feels like we've finally entered the 21st century. Stomp down on the gas all you want. The engine won't make a sound.
It's silent?
At first, I felt like the landscape was moving past me on its own. Give it a few more years, and I'm sure we'll start seeing cars that run purely on electricity. Who knows? In a decade or so, electric sports cars may end up lining the parking lots of Silicon Valley. I can see it now. It's the world of The Last Starfighter, 1984, directed by Nick Castle. It's famous for being the first film to utilize realistic CG, but I couldn't care less about that. See, I was mesmerized by the beautifully refined mech designs. It even made me wish that I could be one of them myself, especially the Gunstar spacecraft. No other sci-fi movie has ever had.
So, where'd your hybrid car get stolen?
Sorry, I got off topic. I noticed it was missing after I finished my lunch and walked out of the diner. Incidentally, this diner was located at the entrance to a small town just south off the I-10. I went out to get back in it, but my hybrid car was nowhere to be found. I remembered exactly where I parked it. Right, but when I came back from lunch, it had completely vanished. In short, someone stole it, and in its place, they left me this.
What?
A skateboard.
A skateboard?
Yes. While I was sliding my lunch into my stomach, someone was busy replacing my brand new hybrid car with a wooden board attached to 4 wheels. Remarkable, don't you think?
So then how did you get here?
By riding the skateboard, obviously. Why do you look so surprised? No, I couldn't ride the board very well at first. But by the time I hit the 3-mile mark, I'd more or less gotten the hang of it. By the 10-mile mark, I'd even learned to do a few tricks. It was a journey of self-discovery. Not even I knew I had this latent talent sleeping inside me.
This summer's gonna be another hot one. It's supposed to get over 95 today. Watch out you don't go getting heat stroke.
The Lease Clarkson case needs us. Don't you think so, Zach? The cat people are what guided us to New Orleans. We should be thanking Malcolm McDowell. Once we get home, let's watch Blue Thunder again. I'm already looking forward to it. Aren't you, Zach? Zach, the searing light. These scents. It's the deep south. That was a fabulous breakfast. You're the world's greatest chef.
Wait, mister. You didn't take a single bite.
Well, the tea was to die for, but I'd prefer coffee next time. What would a morning be without coffee? Baton Rouge. We've been chasing it all over America, but I feel like we're finally on the verge of finding something now. Don't you, Zach? I think it's about time we ordered a new briefcase. Yes, I know this one carries a lot of memories, but it's seen too much. This hole's from the shootout in Tucson. And this stain's from Miami. Miami. Now, that was a fascinating case. Billy, our perp, cut his own torso right in two. Even with the help of the drugs, a feat like that still requires incredible mental fortitude. I was so impressed that I forgot I'd left my briefcase on the floor. Same floor his blood gushed out onto. I know, Zach, I know. Now isn't the time for a trip down memory lane. An emergent drug that's been on the rise in 4 southern states. Personally, I think it originated right here in Louisiana, and Lise Clarkson's murder must be connected to it somehow. The 16-year-old girl who was murdered. Her body was found beneath a bridge over the bayou, along with a strange altar. The powerful man who essentially controls the town of Lucare, and he seems to be more fearsome than your average gangster. I doubt he'll be willing to cooperate with any law enforcement, Zach. You know, I keep thinking about that movie we stopped to see on our way here, Zach. The Island, 2005, directed by Michael Bay. For a movie being shown at a cinema complex, it was surprisingly artistic. An experimental setting mixed with hard-hitting drama. It was art house sci-fi. That director's going to change the history of art house films. Are you following me here? This is another special film that's setting a new standard, just like Star Wars and Blade Runner did. This is a turning point, Zach. You may be witnessing the birth of a vital new word that will soon become a part of film history. Yes, this single movie may be responsible for creating a whole new genre several years down the line, a genre known as island movies. I sure like the sound of that. Don't you, Zach? Due to the nature of our work, we've had to stay at hotels all over America. But Zach, do you know what I hate most about living out of a hotel? Shower pressure. The shower was invented so that human beings could quickly bathe in large quantities of water, correct? Yet there are far too many hotels in our nation that have showers with embarrassingly weak water pressure. It's an outrage. And I'll keep tooting my horn about this every chance I get, believe you me. I'm very satisfied with the decorations and the size of this closet, Zach. And it's even got a security box. What else could a man ask for? It's proof that we're still safely inside the fringes of modern civilization. Hey there, Chef. What's cooking?
Chef, what are you talking about, sir? I'm the concierge, David. I just heard from our chef that you wish to learn the meaning behind our town's name.
Yes, I've gathered that Lucare is French, but does it have any special meaning?
Why, yes, sir, of course it does. A very clear, logical meaning. All names have meanings. Would you like to know what this one means?
Yes, I would.
Jolly good, sir. Then allow me to explain. Lucare means square in French.
Ah. And?
That's it.
That's it?
Yes, that's it, sir. Do take a gander at the town map in the lobby if it fancies you. It's beautiful, valuable, and old. I'm sure you'll understand once you see it. Now, please excuse me, sir. If you ever need anything, Please don't hesitate to ask.
Did you see that, Zach? That was clearly David. Not a twin, not a split personality, just the work of a true professional. It's bizarre, but I can understand it. Remember what they say, the job makes the man. Do you feel that, Zach? Dozens of paintings no one will ever see. The faint scent of tobacco baked into these walls for over a century. Now that's what I call a hotel. Zach, can you see him? His fashion sense is beyond me, but he appears to be a gentleman. Perhaps we should talk to him. Nice tie. Did you buy it here?
It's been a long time since someone spoke to me. No one these days ever tries to see me.
They can see what's far in the distance, but are blind to what's in front of them. No. Maybe they're only pretending not to see. That's what civilized society does to people.
Exactly. Ever since mankind got their hands on civilization, they zoomed away at a frightening speed.
Zoomed away from what?
Don't be a fool. You know the answer. As for me, just call me Hoongan.
Hoongan. The title given to a leader in a certain religion. Is that what you are?
Do you comprehend the oracle?
The oracle? Put on your religion hat, Zach. Here we go.
Felton maidens, in the shrine of hunger, find the flying serpent in the ambiguous zero. Dance with the flying serpent, and you will glimpse the other world.
10 maidens and an ambiguous zero. Got it. But what do you mean by otherworld?
Follow the oracle.
Zach, did you hear all that? Looks like we've already taken our first step into chaos. But such is our duty. We need to accept the chaos, let it inside, then carefully dismantle it piece by piece. And after we've put all the pieces back into their rightful places, the truth will reveal itself. Let's capture the truth and present it with a shiny pair of silver bracelets, Zach. Zach, this is Lucare. I think I'm finally starting to understand what our concierge was trying to say. You can tell this town was built by a very methodical person. No, wait. Maybe they just didn't care, and that's why it ended up this way. It's just another symbol of mankind's obsession with molding nature to fit our own rules. Zach, what did you think of Hungan's oracle? Despite all the dramatic build-up, it's little more than a childish riddle. Heartwarming, really. Exactly the kind of feeling one gets from the good old-fashioned countryside. Now let's start by tracking down those 10 maidens. The oracle gave us a place and an act. We need to go to the Shrine of Hunger and fell 10 maidens. Now where in this town can one satiate their hunger? The hotel and where? And the 10 things that need to be knocked down. Simple, right? Alexis's Diner and Lane. This is it, Zach. There are even pins and a bowling ball on the sign. I bet we'll be able to eat some Cajun cuisine and bowl there. Maybe even both at the same time. Nice job, Zach. I knew you'd be able to find it. Now for the other oracle. There's no flying serpent on this map. Could it be a contrail or perhaps a dragon? I'm sure we'll find out later. First, let's just figure out where we need to go. Do you know what the ambiguous 0 represents? 0 is usually treated as a base number, but under what conditions would a base number be ambiguous? The answer is temperature, Zach. Yes. 0 degrees Fahrenheit is minus 17.7 degrees Celsius, and 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more ambiguous 0 than that. The Clarkson Food Delivery Services Cold Storage Warehouse. That's got to be it. Even with this blazing sun in the sky, they can easily keep the temperature below freezing. Be honest now, Zach. You knew the answer from the very start, didn't you? And how about that Hungan? What a mysterious character. His oracles may end up determining how much time we spend in this town.
Sorry, boss, but this is a smoke-free hotel. If you're dying to smoke, head out the entrance and you'll find a smoking area in the rear parking lot.
Don't tell me. You're the
At
bellboy.
your service, boss.
Are you good friends with the concierge and the chef?
We work at the same place, yeah. But, I can't really say whether we're good friends with each other. We're all professionals, though. Nothing more, nothing less.
I believe we've struck gold here, Zach. It just screams Deep South. Actually, no, it doesn't. This is all his charm. So, if I want to smoke, I should go out the entrance and around to the rear parking lot?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Okay. I'll play by your rules.
Hiya, boss. How can I be of service?
Whether it's a restaurant or a hotel, the key to charming your customers is how you present your bathroom. I'm sure you feel the same way, don't you, Zach? Now this This is the kind of bathroom a person can really get excited about. It might even trump the one we saw in that drug dealer's house in Austin. Remember? The art piece on display in there utilized the natural curves of human ribs in such a novel way. It was truly brilliant.
Compared to non-smokers, smokers have a 4.7 times greater chance of getting lung disease. You know that means it's more likely than getting asbestos poisoning?
The risk of death from lung cancer is actually much lower than what you think it is. In fact, it's tiny when compared to heart disease, strokes, and pneumonia. We're always surrounded by easy ways to die, you know. Some people even get randomly struck by lightning and die right there on the spot.
Then I reckon you also know that secondhand smokers have 1.3 times greater the risk compared to smokers?
Of course.
So you won't mind paying the damages when I die of lung disease? How about writing that in a contract for me? You got a pen, right? I promise to protect you from all the evil in our world. Well, that's stupid. By the way, what's your name?
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, just call me York. That's what everyone calls me.
Is something wrong with you? Adults ain't supposed to act like that. I only asked for your name so I can write it on the contract. You should have been able to figure that out if you're a real FBI agent like you said. Come on, sign here. Right here on the paper.
Just as I thought, Zach. This contract paper, it's a Sang Rouge wrapper. Sang Rouge is here, too. This must mean that Sang Rouge is connected to the Lise Clarkson murder case somehow. This is a sprawling case that spread across the entire South. It's within our jurisdiction, Zach. We'll need to steal the right to investigate from the local authorities at once. By the way, miss, what's your name?
Patricia Woods. But I gotta write my name myself, or else it won't be a real signature.
Tell me, Patricia, does this town have a sheriff? Or is it under the jurisdiction of the nearest city police?
Perfect timing. Well, go on and steal it if you want it. I was just thinking about how this is way out of my daddy's league.
Thank you for the information, Patricia. Okay, Zach, it's time to get to work. How should we seize control from the sheriff this time?
Hey there. So, you're the fella from the FBI I've been hearing so much about. I'm Melvin. They call me the sheriff round here.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan? But call me York if you can. That's what everyone calls me.
Huh? Well, all right. Mr. York. How's that sound?
Fine by me.
I'm sure you figured this out, but our town's a small one. Yeah, folks are already busy spreading gossip about how some FBI agents come to town. Now, I reckon you came from the city. What was it? D.C., L.A., or New York? Anywho, in the city, it's normal not to know who your neighbor is. Fella who moves in next to you could cook up a dozen folks in his backyard and no one would bat an eye. That's the city for you. Now, I never lived in one myself, but I visited them a few times, so I know what it's like. All pigs must die in the city of wolves. Yeah! Now, does that sound badass or what? I bet you'd... Hey! I know, CLG. I'm just trying to make a little small talk, that's all. Anywho, round these parts, everyone knows each other's name. So lots of folks get leery when they see an étranger like you, and since it's my duty to protect the town, I thought I'd stop by and say hello.
Zach, it looks like this sheriff is quite the happy-go-lucky type. A clear indication of just how peaceful this town is. Melvin, about the Lise Clarkson case.
I knew you were here for that case. Can't put one past the FBI. So they even got eyes on the smallest of towns like us, huh? Our world is filled with information, and it's all within their grasp. FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
The Lise Clarkson case is connected to a top-secret case that we've...
I know. If you're fixing to take the lead, then go right ahead. I'm just the humble sheriff of a tiny little town. My jobs are to stop my neighbors from beating the piss out of each other and listen to old folks complain. Honestly, this whole murder case has been weighing me down. So I'm gonna give you my full cooperation, Mr. Special Agent, sir.
Well, Zach, that was anticlimactic. I didn't even get to use my secret weapon. Melvin, there's a cold storage warehouse on the southern end of town, isn't there? I'd like to get permission to enter it.
Say what?
You want to see where the body's being kept, right?
Oh, I get it now. Lisa's body, yeah. Now, that's what I call a special agent. You already figured that much out. But, I'm not too sure that, going down there at this point is really gonna help much, you know?
Explain it yourself, Daddy.
That's incredible. I don't believe this. Amazing. Did you hear that, Zach? They put the body in a cold storage warehouse. This is fantastic. Insanely fantastic.
Really? Well, how about that? Well, all right then. I'll head on down to the warehouse ahead of you and make sure we get permission to search it.
Sounds good.
The management company only keeps the warehouse open during certain hours, so you'll have to come during those hours. I ain't looking to create any further disturbances. So be on time. Got it? Come on, let's roll, CLG.
I'm gonna walk home, Daddy. I still got another stop to make.
Oh, if you say so, sweetie. She's a real sharp one, as you can see, so I try to stay out of her way. Well, all right then, York. I'll see you at the warehouse.
Hey, you. You ain't secretly cutting kids up and sticking them into jars while you work as an FBI agent on the surface, are you? Or using your FBI connections to sell kids to child trafficking organizations?
I've arrested people who've done both, but I've never engaged in either of those activities myself. Of course, I have imagined doing such things in order to learn more about the psychology of the criminals I deal with.
It was just a joke. Why are you getting all serious? And don't tell me what you imagine, or else I'll get scared of you for real. Hey, can I come with you? You signed a contract with me, remember? And besides, I'm kind of worried about my daddy.
Do whatever you like. This is America, land of the free. But I have one condition.
What condition?
Don't ask me about Zach. It's a private matter. Zach, it feels like she's carrying something with her. Kind of reminds me of you back when we first met. I can't leave her alone like this. You feel the same way, don't you? Melvin called you a strange name, CLG, I think. What exactly does that mean?
Clever little girl. That's what it stands for, at least. It's nice that he made up his own nickname for me and all, but it sounds kind of weird. I wish he'd call me something normal, like just Patricia or Patty, you know?
Patty? Now that name's got a ring to it. I like it. How about Zach and I call you Patty from here on out?
Do whatever you like. Weirdo. You're heading to the warehouse, right? You gonna go straight there?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I'll have to talk to Zach. We're also on a mission to fell 10 maidens, you see. I'm eager to visit Alexis's diner in Lane, but we've only just arrived in this town, so it might be nice to stroll around a bit.
What? I thought you came here to investigate.
Patty, you're still just a child. Why do you worry so much? We're born to be free, and this is America, land of the free. You should always feel free to do whatever you want. Isn't that right, Zach?
Maybe I shouldn't have come with you. I'm getting kind of nervous now.
Hey, Zach, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand, and Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea of data. That would have been its fate. Instead, it traveled from person to person until it finally fell right into our lap. Things always work out that way for us. We've traveled all over the United States trying to track down San Rouge. We can't let this chance pass us by, can we, Zach? We need to find some sort of clue before this southern sun melts it all away. Excuse me, but what are you doing?
Searching.
What are you searching for?
Unknown.
You don't know. Interesting. Zach, this man is the perfect symbol of the human race. We all live out our lives searching for things, yet no one knows what they're actually searching for. That's what it means to be human. Don't you agree, Zach? I feel like that simple declaration of his just awakened us to something.
Beep, 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 beep.
So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Unga, is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. By the way, Zach, Ungan feels very familiar to me. You might even say he reminds me of someone. Yes, I think I see the connection now. A cheerful, wise, yet also mysterious African-American who appeared in a variety of different films. My mind must be overlapping him with the skeletal gentleman. Do you remember his name? Ah, yes, that's it. Scatman Crothers. In 1980, he played Dick Halloran in The Shining, and in 1983, he was in The Twilight Zone. He played the man who invited all those elderly folks into a strange new world. I knew it, Zach. There's definitely a connection here, but he's a bit too old. Scatman's more of a sage character. Our skeletal gentleman is a little younger, isn't he? Yes. They have different body types, but what about Forrest Whitaker? He made his debut in 1982 in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Then he was in Platoon and The Color of Money, both released in 1986, followed by Good Morning Vietnam in 1987. Oh, and he was in Bird in 1988. What an impressive filmography. Across the 80s, he transformed his rough, young image into a more cheerful, wiser one. That's why the 80s can also be described as the decade that built up Forrest Whitaker's career. I firmly believe that he'll win an Academy Award for Best Actor someday. Yes, I'm sure it's right around the corner. He'll most likely wait until the time is ripe. Maybe around next year. Then he'll unleash his best performance yet. Zach, I could go on about famous actors forever, but we have a case to solve here. Let's table this discussion for now.